everyone, I'm Harshita of Grade 8 Tulip, and this is my project, Reefs at Risk. It's about coral reefs, and here this is my representation of coral reefs. Coral reefs are vibrant underwater ecosystems that serve as habitats, feeding grounds, spawning areas, and nursery areas for over 1 million aquatic species, including some commercially important fish. Although they may seem to be like plants and depend on photosynthesis to survive, they're not actually plants. They're a symbiotic relationship between algae and an animal called polyps. The structures that we see are actually the skeleton-type creations of the polyps, in which the polyps and the algae live. The colors of the coral are made by the algae. And coral reefs are extremely diverse in India, as we've shown here on the map. With these colored dots, we've represented the places where coral reefs are shown in India and Sri Lanka. The Gulf of Kutch, East and West Coast, Lakshadweep Islands, Gulf of Mannar, Palk Bay, and the Andaman and Nicobar Islands. They're extremely diverse in India. And coral reefs are extremely essential for our coastal areas' welfare too. As you can see in these pictures, coral reefs help protect our coastal areas from tsunamis and floods. Here, the coral reefs act as barriers from the high waves of tsunamis and the floods and help protect our settlements. Whereas in the second picture, degraded coral reefs and mangroves, water to pass through, and water passes through too easily and it floods our areas, as in this picture as well. Coral reefs are extremely essential for us as well. They bring about $30 billion worth through goods and services for human development annually. You might be wondering how such a small plant-like animal could ever bring such high amounts of revenue, but they actually bring such even greater amounts than this. They are extremely well-known tourism sites. I'm sure you've heard of the Great Barrier Reefs in Australia, Hawaii, Andaman and Nicobar Islands, and the Lakshadweep Islands, which are extremely great tourist hotspots for diving and exploring these coral reefs. They also provide food to over 25 million coastal residents worldwide. And they are extremely important as they're also used as jewelry and providing beautiful showpieces as well. They act as natural indicators of CO2 levels and water quality, and they're extremely essential in our daily life as well. So, even though they are extremely important, coral reefs are at risk. As you can see here, due to unethical tourism practices, pollution, sedimentation, poison fishing, in which small amounts of poison are added into the water, and coral harvesting, where coral is harvested for these different jewelry and beautiful things, and dynamite fishing, in which dynamite is added into the water and blows up our beautiful ecosystems and creates irreversible changes and overexploitation. So with all this being known, I'm happy to say that governments, local NGOs, and local people are coming together to help preserve these beautiful ecosystems. They are creating coral nurseries and outplanting coral blooms to preserve the diversity. They are also helping us and by letting out knowledge and helping us understand more about these coral reefs and bringing them out to light. You might be wondering that this is so detached from all of us. There's probably nothing that we can do. But there are so many things that we can do as well. So many small actions that we can take to help protect them. Well, coral reefs, when we visit coral reefs, we usually apply chemical-based sunscreens. When we do this, these chemicals dissolve into the water and create lots of harm. And we should also not plant factories and other things and use extra chemicals and fertilizers when unnecessary, and pour chemicals down storm drains, which is extremely problemous to these beautiful coral reefs. And we should also help reduce our carbon footprint. Climate change, as you may have heard, is a major devastating thing for these beautiful coral reefs. When these coral reefs detect changes in their area, they become stressed due to the heat and changes and different pH levels in the water. And they expel the algae from inside their bodies, and disabling them from their way of photosynthesis and leading them to die. They become white, and this is called coral bleaching. I'm sure you've heard of the Great Barrier Reef in Australia, the world's biggest coral reef, dying due to bleaching. If we all come together, we can help preserve these beautiful ecosystems for future generations. Thank you.